Hey guys, welcome to my channel Idea Machine Marketing Basics. Today we are going to go over chapter 4.2, Factors that Impact Business Objectives. Before we dive into your chapter, remember that your culture as a business is your brand. To quickly describe objectives and the factors that basically affect them, we'll go over objectives of two different business entities, objectives of social enterprises versus public sector. Business objectives differ for both these business types essentially because of the style and the type of the business they are and also the size. Objectives of social enterprises are primarily divided into three categories. First would be economic, which is essentially more geared towards generating profit and making money as every other business. Second would be social objectives, which means creating jobs and supporting the local community where the social enterprise is established. And thirdly would be environmental objectives, which means protecting the environment and being sustainable. It's very crucial for social enterprises to have a healthy mix of all three in order to make sure that they establish and they have a well reputed, essentially a good reputation as a social enterprise. Objectives of public sector businesses, however, might differ. The first being service provision, which means delivering reliable services to the public where basically the business is established. Let's say a public service or a public sector company is a waterworks company or an electricity company, then they need to make sure that the reliable service is being delivered to the audience wherever they are set up. Economic and social development, which is essentially just contributing to the economic and social development of the locality where the business is set up. Employment generation, another carry forward which is common between private, public and social enterprises, wherein a business is supposed to generate employment. And lastly, meeting financial targets. As we move over to the next part, we'll understand how to set up effective objectives. Every business that's out there gets to this stage at some point where they want to put down an objective for themselves, or they want to understand what the yearly goal would be and what are some factors that are going to influence this business objective. So in order to set up an effective business objective or a business goal, it's very important that a business follows the SMART criteria. We'll quickly dive into the SMART criteria and understand more about what it means for a business. The SMART criteria is divided into 5 categories. First one being specific, which means your goal has to be directly relating to the business activities. For example, making sales, generating profit, getting website traffic, things like that, whatever is the activity that your business is trying to conduct. Measurable, which means quantifiable objectives providing clear targets. This means that it is very important for your objective to be measurable. You cannot just set up an objective that says increase market share. That is something that is very difficult to measure. But if you say increasing market share by 5% in the local food and beverages category, that makes it a little more measurable. Achievable, which means that even though it's challenging, it is yet achievable within a specific time frame. Again, if you look at the last one that I was mentioning, which is increasing market share, that is extremely vague and can mean a lot of things. But if you set up a time frame around it and make sure it's achievable, that will make the goal even more something that the employees can look at and be like, okay, this is where my company is headed in the future. Realistic, which means that it should align with the company's resources. And let's say you want to grow your company 5 times, but you have 2 employees working for you, then that goal doesn't stay realistic anymore. You basically will always need the manpower, the operational support, logistics, more dollars in order to grow your business, and that's where the being realistic part comes in. And the last one is time limited, which means that the goal should have a time frame to achieve the objectives. It cannot be, like I said again, increasing market share and just be a shot in the dark, but it can be increasing market share by 5% within the next year or next 2 years. A very good example of a SMART goal, or a very basic example, would be achieving a 30% increase in website traffic within the next 6 months, which tells you what they want to achieve with what platform and within how much time and how are they going to measure it. Now we'll quickly go over some factors that influence business objectives as well. Business objectives are affected by both internal and external factors. So to quickly talk about what are some of the common ones that affect it, we'll just quickly run through them. First one being business culture, which shapes the decision making within an organization. Let's say your culture is more formal, then your goals would be according. Let's say your culture is more casual, then the goals would be around that. Business size and legal structure, which means that small businesses are more focused towards profit satisficing, which we went over in the last chapter, means that you make enough profit to satisfy the owners of the company. Whereas a large business might be focused on rapid growth, which means their idea would be to employ more people and focus on rapid growth because they have the funds to do so. Private versus public sector and how they influence a business objective. Private sector is primarily emphasized on shareholder value or generating more shareholder value, versus a public sector would be on more quality of service metrics like are the wait times longer, are our customers happy, are we making sure that we are delivering the right product for the public, etc. And the last one would be business longevity, which means that new businesses prioritize survival due to the high failure rates in first year of operation. This means that if it is a new business, their focus would always be on profit generation so that they can survive the storm, which is the first 1 or 2 years of setting up a business, which are substantially or considered to be the most crucial ones for a business. With that, today's chapter comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel Idea Machine 09. If you want to watch short form content, do not forget to check out my Instagram at Idea Machine 09 as well. Thank you.